Hello, greetings. Thank you for joining us for tonight's communication. This one is going to be a little bit different. I'm getting diverse connections, so this should be interesting. As for, all right, because usually I get information throughout the day, here and there, so I'm just going to go into it right now. And I'll do mostly conscious channeling, won't be all, but it'll be a little bit of a combination. Not to say this will be very long, but it'll be what needs to be heard. Let's put it that way. Start out with those that are. Now, this is something I connected with a while ago. I imagine others have connected to it also. Those that are computer scientists or scientists in general, but mostly I believe it's computer scientists. Now, I connect to computer scientists. A lot of them are incarnated zetas. You know, they run Facebook and whatever else. I can go into some of that on Facebook because channel at Facebook. Oh yeah, I think that would help too. So maybe I should do a couple of short videos to go into the topics, but we'll see. There's only so much you can put in the title of the video, so there's the only reason to make it shorter. But we'll see how it goes. Yeah, don't worry about it. What will be found will be found. Let's put it that way. But yeah, those that do computer programming, like Mark Zuckerberg, that's that's CEO of Facebook. There is a lot of AI technologies going on in companies these days. If I said that right. But someone like Zuckerberg and others that I work there, they act like robots, and because they used to be, and you can say still are. They used to be AI technologies. So who else better to bring AI technologies here is those that have been incarnated AIs and other incarnations. You can say even that Jarvis, the Google, okay Google, this thing that talks, of course it is activated. Some of them have actually been like a computer system for a ship or something like that. So they come here to bring that's why like Zuckerberg is all computer. He's all just basically a walking machine, basically. And he's not alone. There's others also that have no social life. They don't know how to be social because they're like robots, practically. They're coming here to learn how to be social to a degree. Of course, with Mark, he has a lot of reptilian energies, so it makes sense why people pick up on it. But he also has Zeta and just a mix of all types of vibrations. Got a little bit of visitation there. But also, let's see, I'm going to jump around a little bit because I'm getting a little bit of everything. And also, like the fairies, you can say, let's see, not the gnomes. Some of the gnomes also, the fairy people are very connected to love and relationships. And they're like bunnies. They can procreate like crazy. And it has a lot to do with like seeding the planet. And they're used to seeding the planet through children. Fairies have much easier birthing system. You don't have to worry about them going to college or any of that stuff. Basically, I feel they just grow their wings at an early age, the children, and just go around flying around. Of course, the parents are there. It's almost like a cat parent, just or like any other animal or any human, basically, just to nurture them, but let them also go and do their thing. Basically, they get like a telepathic download of education. Of course, the parents are there educating them also, of course. But we get that too. It's just schools here are to reprogram us. So everything here is reprogramming, as many of you are aware. You leave yourself open as a kid, you're connecting to all crazy stuff, and that's good. But then you get an education. No, that's wrong. You can't do this. The parents do it too because they've been taught by it also. So if you leave the kid open, you'd be surprised all the craziness is going to pick up, aliens or whatever it might be. And some do it obviously, but a lot of parents shut that down. So look at our world, as of us. Well, it'll be parenting, obviously, for protection and all that, but also let the mind stay free, and you'll have a different world altogether. Obviously, there's manipulations all over the place that we're not aware of and we don't see, but without the parent interfering with the kid's open-mindedness, it's just insanity. It's good. Um, but obviously, there's a lot of other forces there to shut us down that we're not aware of. But still, having that freedom does help you connect to the earth. As for Mother Earth's energies, she is very much like a teacher. She does assist the teachers on finding, there is a lot of manipulation, but not all teachers are manipulated, as you're aware of. So they do bring in truths as it can. They get in what they can. They realize that humans are going through a test and of many of lessons also. So they don't want to take you away from that. Of course, you have to find your way out, basically. I know it sounds kind of a little bit confusing, but basically it's like a kid at school started talking to a tree or something like that. They don't want to go that far, or maybe they do. Well, maybe in the future that will start happening, because that's probably get more education there. Well, at least you'll get more satisfaction, at least, let's put it that way. Or nature in general doesn't have to be a tree, but you understand. Basically, we retrained our minds to connect more with nature. As we were trained not to, we're trained to connect to objects and materialism. Not to say that things are bad, but, to allow nature to come into our environment so we have basically a balance. To have both things. I mean, there's a best of everything. There's always a low and a positive to everything. And so, that's why youth is so important, because when you connect with nature, it's like learning piano as a kid, but learning nature instead, not to force it, but to realize that nature is alive. And usually, normally, children would know that too. The reason I'm going into that, because that's usually, that is the child, obviously, is where all the programming comes in, shut down, become a human, and here we are. So the parenting energy will shift. I mean, obviously, parents still has to have the rules and everything, obviously. But there's still, freedom there of the unknown, of the positive, of course. Of course, there's others. But the positive is definitely where you want to connect with as you go, because all this is going to go into our future eventually. A reteaching of everything, kind of like reteaching. So right now it takes a while to get that kind of thinking going, especially when you're connecting more of the beings that are here. And as the old ways are going to gradually lose popularity, basically our modern society is going to fade out eventually. It's not something that's going to happen fast, but look at the 70s, the 80s, and 90s. There's always different trends, right? Well, eventually there'll be alien trends, even fairy trends, Argarthian trends, and I'll be interested in seeing this lifetime. That'd be fascinating. That'd be really fascinating. This is what really opens up the earth, basically. To make joy with it, to enjoy it, have fun with it, instead of having these the UFO conspiracies and all that. That's good and everything, but it's it takes a whole. I mean, it's like the shadow government conference. It takes all the fun out of it. It's like a horror show almost. It feels like, to a certain degree. It's so serious and everything. At least what I'm seeing on videos on YouTube. I imagine most of them are like that. I mean, how many of them are truly uplifting? Probably not many. Not really. I mean, they don't have fun. It doesn't look like fun. They're just like intellectual ego tossing or something like that. So obviously it helps them financially. They can make a career out of it. That's great and everything. But there's other, it's also like a closed club from what I'm feeling with it. At least some of them are, not all of them. And it's just not very friendly. It is, but it isn't, but also has a business line there to sell books and stuff like that. Not to say those things are bad, but it does seem like it does seem like there's more to alien disclosure and just those weird conferences that are kind of stuffy. It's like going to a Republican convention or something like that. But yeah, I do see this more Garcia Mother Earth energies, basically just to enjoy life, not to worry, and to connect with Mother Nature. But of course, connect to all things. Some do shut out humans and just connect with Mother Nature and say humans are bad. There is that kind of crowd. That's a whole another world there. But they can connect to nature, but they can't connect to humans very well. There's a lot of. I don't know if there's a lot of that, but it does exist for sure. As for the fairy vibrations, well, let's see here. A lot of them, let's see. A lot of it's in the transgender populations. Basically, they show that there is no gender. We have not reached that point. Well, kind of. It's just another way of releasing the programming, basically. It's like when the body gets or the mind gets tired, gets tired of the reality, why not just throw everything out? That makes sense. Like you go neutral, but you go gender neutral. But you're not just doing that with genders. You're doing with your whole reality, and that's true. Obviously, society has an issue with it. Society has a lot of issues with itself, looking in the mirror, basically. It sees like false fantasies and things of that sort, instead of it seeing its true self. And to see its true self, you see the manipulators. We also see angels, see guides, to see all of this, to see all of them. Obviously, not many are ready to see it. Eventually, those days will come. It'll be fascinating to see it in this lifetime, but at least kick into that direction. Yeah. As for alien visitation, that will come as needed to those that are ready. It does seem like there has to be a major healing here, of some kind. I'm getting. Not to say we're not close to it. I think we are. It's just there needs to be some kind of mental healing somewhere. And this is what I picked up on the dream, but wasn't really clear what it was. But it's almost like a pole shift, but it's a conscious shift. Basically, as consciousness that is kind of like a black hole energy that's allowing these entities to connect with us, which makes a lot of sense. It's like a hole in the head to a certain degree, allowing low vibrations to come into our consciousness and control us. Government, money, just all these things of basic insecurities, fear. It's like a black hole in the soul, in some regard, allowing false realities to come in. That's keeping us, basically, like some do feel like there's a flat earth, or there's different types of earths, or just it's like covering up our mind's eye, basically. I imagine many can pick up on that. As you open up to the higher vibrations, you'll see different earths, other realities, and you can probably easily connect to them as needs. So it's almost like you're turning into a god, you can say, or godlike power. You're connecting more to the higher vibrations. Let's put it that way. It's like godlike powers. Let's put it that way. It's magic. It's a lot of things. It's like a light bulb finally turning itself on. We're kind of dimly lit right now. And so when you're dimly lit, it's hard to connect to everything. And, and those that are, it's like they're putting false thoughts into our minds. Yeah, harmonic energies of the elites. They have their NSAs and all that, putting thoughts into our minds, attacking us. I get it. Others get it. It's just they want us to shut us. They want you to go into internal depression, basically to make you useless on the road. People don't trust you. They want all of that to happen. So it's to keep us from basically just the idea behind that. Basically just to continue on the best you can. Send light. Not to fight. You're fighting. To break free. I think it's a better word for it. Fighting is not a good. I don't see that as a good word for it. But there's a lot. Yeah, we're getting, as we go into more of the truth, which isn't going to be very popular because the truth is really, I want to say messed up, but it's it's a little bit more than most people want to handle, of course. As manipulators are not to concentrate on them, but they are clever. And the idea is to send it love, not to name call or anything like that, or go paranoid. It's not going to solve anything. Basically, it's just ask for assistance. But of course, when you are under attack, it's you just gotta just stay strong, basically. It's because it's as things heat up. As things heat up, there will be scandals. There'll be this and that, because the dark wants to keep. As more of the light comes in, the dark's going to do whatever they can to stay alive, or at least to stay relevant. So I'm not sure where the scandal stuff comes from, but like what they say with channelers, they're all just channeling dark entities and such. A lot of it, like I said, a lot of that's just people aren't ready for this stuff, or they have internal healings they still got to go through to hear the truth or whatever it might be. Just a combination, but these things are just going to happen as the truth come. Basically, I mean, as for bringing more of the positive in, you just got to work through your heart. As some say, you're not, but you are. So that's another. It just never ends, does it? Some are not with their heart at all, and so you're not channeling with your heart, and you actually are, but others want to do. It's all a healing. It's all a learning process. It's all just a point of view. It's just a little bit of everything. Yeah, it's just a little bit of as the light comes, as you get stronger, more revelations of the truth come in. Some are just going to get bombarded by uneasy situations. That's the way it is. Because the dark is going to do everything it can to stay relevant. So that's main. Honestly, this is all a conscious channeling, but it's true. I mean, when you really think about it, because you see how the mask is over humanity right now of how to think, how things, how hollow it is, you can say. How our reality basically feeding us this reality that doesn't make any sense. So you bring in more of a positive reality, and a lot of people aren't going to really take it so well. So obviously going to fight back to keep 3D alive, basically. So they're going to keep their reality going, even that's where everything they can, the kitchen sink, whatever it is. And so it's tough. So that's why being in my position and anyone else out there, it's not as easy as it might seem. Because signing up for this makes sense, but it's also not easy, for sure. What needs to be heard will be heard, and we'll get to the right people as it needs to, basically. Not worry about numbers or YouTube algorithms. For some people will find it when they're ready to find it, basically. Advertising, that's all right to a certain degree if you feel like you need to do that, or whatever you feel to need to get your name out there. There's nothing wrong with that, but the right people will find you as they need to, as when they're ready, basically. So but we are going into a transition of a shift, little by little, of course, because you don't want to too much. It's just we've been here such a long time in the oven. It's not something you want to shift very quickly, for sure. But as for who's here, as for the negative energies here, to make them more known, I believe will be discovered somehow, at least into the mainstream, because it's not really mentioned at all. only through the spiritual gifts, of course, but not really mainstream. Not really. Not like even if they call it conspiracy theory, it's not really that heavy out there. I don't think it is. So at least you get that ideology out there that of what's happening here will slowly get into the consciousness of humanity, where they make a decision if this is real or not. Instead of, they don't like this type of subject matter isn't that clear for people to make a choice. Not really. I mean, people. I mean, those are awake that are trying to decipher all this still. But I mean, if there are entities here basically to keep us in 3D because they want to show how weak we are, it's their passion project that's pretty twisted. And to get more of an understanding of those details of why, well, the why is, yeah, obviously humans have a lot of weakness that have to be strengthened, and that's why we're here. But a lot of these lower energies have obviously gone too far over and over again, and just more of the truth to find its way into reality, so we can finally go into the next level of major healing. So I imagine this will go into more of the mainstream. As I say, it probably already is to a certain degree, but it has different ways of being deployed as for the agendas here. And it's to like take hold of it and take us to the next level. It's going to be, yeah, I believe visitation will happen eventually. Once again, there's a major, something has to be healed here consciously somewhere. It's like the black hole that causes us all these problems has to be healed. And not to say we'll have major connections after that, but gradually go into more of an individual alien contact. Now, is this going to be soon? I don't know. You never know. But as for like Facebook and all these things, they're there to reprogram us to a degree. Not entirely, though, because a lot of truth is going into Facebook, but there is AI technology that's monitoring all this. It's kind of getting spooked out from what I see also. But obviously, the truth movement of what's really going on is still a small percent. But obviously, it is being watched and not taken too seriously until it becomes a problem. But it's hard to say. It might be just protected. Either way, I would not worry, and you're awakening. Those that are awakening to all this, not to worry. Yes, everybody is protected in their own way. Yes, you might get this and that, but either way, you're still protected. So we're going into a new direction. Basically, it's like if you get attacked or anything, it's also, you might see the being, some do. And that's another, and eventually these things will be caught on camera. And not to say it'll have to be attacked for that to happen, but you might just, more of it will become more into the mainstream. I believe the time, eventually. How that's going to happen, not sure. We are going into a time of rebirth, you can say. Humanity itself is going through, you can say, an earth reset, a reality reset. More than a financial reset. We're not ready for a financial reset. That would be way down the road if it even happens at all. I believe consciously we have to shift first. And financial reset is still not, I don't think it's that relevant. Consciously, we have to shift in a way of allowing our reality to open up to what is really here. To see it, to become more, have it as a talking point does help. Because those, even that's professional psychics that are doing mediumship and all that, they really connect to, I mean, they know about these things. They don't really go into it. I mean, some might, but really go into the details of it. The details are basically not exactly vague, but basically they just want our souls to be destroyed or taken over, basically. That's why suicide and other means of suicide is usually the easiest one, for they can capture your soul. That's why they make it look like fun on TV, in other ways because they make it look entertaining. It's like, yeah, it's some souls are needed to go through that. That's true, but it's also a way of capturing the soul. So I don't recommend it, but some souls feel like they need to do it. I wouldn't recommend it, especially going through the ascension process. But you gotta do what you gotta do. But I wouldn't recommend it. But I know some say, "Oh, you just gotta do it because that's part of your soul. That's great and everything." But I'm looking for more of a positive earth. Of course, you gotta do what you gotta do, but um, some of that stuff comes back as trickster energy. Just to let you know. If that's your deal, more power to you. But just put it that way. So I won't go into details of that. I've already beaten that one to death. All right. Yeah, this is kind of a different connection right here. So I wasn't really expecting to go through all that. That's cool. This is ivantar.com. They have private sessions for the new to all this. They have Fridays open, weekends open, and you have a new scheduling. This looks nice, I think. I have this here just in case. No, I'll get rid of these eventually. And we also have Google Hangout, Zoom, Skype, and channeling by phone. This is a Skype number that I call by, or however you want to word it. I also have submitting questions. I'm around. I'm still on Wednesday, but I'm getting into Friday also. So we also have Spirit Social. Submit a question, past life regression healing. Message from National Channel Consulting, 5-minute healing. Social connections. Reiki from Miguel. Healing from Nick. Ask a question from Yosium and other items here. Other services. Also have the social network. That's 5D Spirit Crew, and the links are in the description down below. And we have Flat Earth. These ones I posted recently. Get some sleep. You've got crop circles around your eyes. That's great. Yeah, there is one way to abduct humans. Yeah, redheads in New Zealand. Oh, interesting. So, Italian Pact. Okay. Wasn't actually ringing, but so basically what I heard was womb, from the hidden, as a part of the hidden cities. Yeah, for sure. I don't doubt it. Dog head tribes. Yeah. I did. Yeah, when I was at well, go into this first. I have a 5D Spirit Festival. This will be go live on Friday, maybe a little bit sooner. I'm still working on the site. Basically you submit YouTube videos or Vimeo videos that you've seen online. It doesn't have to be yours. It's basically just another way to find videos. This is a weekly film festival, so the submission process will continue. Everything will go live on Friday. So it's just something, it's find new stuff. That's basically what this is about. So it's just kind of interesting what finds its way in every week, basically. So yeah, this page will go away and the real site will go live. And I didn't open it up. Hold on 1 second. Give an idea, I forgot to do this. Oops, don't do that. Be right with you. Of course, this is just a sample of what it's going to look like. Yeah. Okay, this isn't a very clear sample of what it looks like, but it's close enough. Great. What did I just do here? Basically, this is like a not very good sample of what this is going to look like. Oh, open up the wrong one. There. So basically, it has the add comments. I don't have that set up yet. That's going to be after once it goes live. It's going to be a little bit after that. The watch later, and basically you can turn to a cinema, so it can go full screen basically. So it's kind of like a theater type of site basically. I'll see how it works. I think it'll be all right. Don't need a playlist. I haven't figured out how to get that to work, but so we'll do adjustments on the site over time. So you feel free to submit anything you have, and much appreciated, especially those that are new to all of this, trying to figure out what's going on in the world. It's just to add to your library of insanity, basically. And yeah, the Dogman channel, the Dogman this weekend at I forgot where, but I connected to Dogman somewhere. I forgot which park it was, but yeah, they're definitely very real for sure. So, all right, we can do a slight connection here and be on my way basically. Okay, yeah, I've had visitation. Let's see. All right. Yeah, there's a lot. All right, here we go. Blessings. Greetings to you. This is Redmond, Glad to Federation of Light, from the Sirian perspective. Yes, there are many on your world that are going through a transition. Many of their mental state is transforming into more of a higher vibrational entity. At this point, the souls on your world are having difficulties finding themselves and most likely go through an awakening. Those that are basically lost will find their awakening in due time. Yes, there is a feline presence on your world that is, as humans ascend the feline races of Lyran and other feline races do ascend with you. As many of this is the alien experiment, but also of many lessons as the human is going into a new territory that has not been connected to before, basically. And this Atlantean human that you all are connected to a certain amount is going into a new phase of reality that has not truly been seen by other world realities, I should say. But the Earth human here is going into as always has been, and this time is going into a new vibration of new human, where no human has gone before. As for the details of that, that is for you to discover. As what we are seeing, you are completing, basically. What we are seeing in you, you are accomplishing. And so to give those details out is for you to discover, actually. We cannot fully bring that vibration into your environment. What we can say is that you're going into a uniqueness that has not been seen before. No. Others might disagree with that, but that's up to them. But you are going into a new earth environment that basically this planet will assist other worlds, and even other worlds will be brought to yours, not necessarily physically, but basically you'll bring other planet realities to your planet through holographic energies to assist them in their ascension process, or what is it that you want to connect with, basically. As you can say, this will be a not exactly a laboratory, but a place of, because what you are learning, you are taking other worlds into new directions also. As I say, those directions are up to you. As you will know them as you experience them. As you see other alien environments, you will understand this. For right now, it's not. This world, yes, has been captured by low energy beings, yes, of all kinds. And in doing so, they've given their secrets to you also, so they can get your secrets, but also realize you have become them and they've become you, but you become more of them than they have become of you. Like Anunnaki and other beings are trying to master the human, as what Zetas are trying to do on your world. As for the abductions, they're trying to be like you, and it's not going so well, but you are becoming them. It does not make sense to you. So you're transferring your energy. So you have so many different species that you're connected to at this time. There is your uniqueness. It is done in such a way that has not been seen before. And that will continue to go forward. As yes, there'll be other worlds that you will be creating that are just as difficult as this one, and maybe even worse. But that is where the magic is made. It is all done on purpose. Even Atlantis was done on purpose, but also it was done as for free will, though. But that purpose, that free will, as many souls saw where this world was already going and decided to go forward with it. As many of them did not, but this is an experimental world, as all are, but this is the great experiment that can make this world either vanish or become one of the stronger worlds in the universe. As for what it is basically taking other worlds into new directions. So as you ascend as need to, because you will, yes, the ascension process is it's going into the direction as what your humans are allowing it to, of course. As for where it cannot excel, it does to a degree, but not too much. As it needs to grow like a plant, it needs to take its time. And realize it's like you're regrowing the world. Doesn't that feel like you're regrowing the planet? That takes time. Isn't that what you're looking for? A new world. But regrowing the planet takes time. So we leave you with vibrations of peace and realize, yes, there's no wrong way, really. As you are all learning from each other, you're not always agreeing with each other, but realize that you are following your heart. You will find the direction is right for you. That's what matters most. Blessings to you all in your connections. I am Redmond. All right, take care.